Good day, folks. I'm XXAATTLE, and I'm coming to you live from the SkillDistrict. The reason that I created this video is for some of you people, parents and whatnot, who purchased the 3D Doodler for your children, possibly on Christmas Day, and it starts acting up. And then what are you going to do? What kid wants a toy that's only going to work for 5 minutes on Christmas Day? So this video is for you all. Check it out. These are some of the ins and outs of the 3D Doodler start pin and how to overcome them and some nuances to check out or realize while you're using it. Without any ado, here we go. All right, folks. This is XXAATTLE coming to you from the SkillDistrict. And we're going to be doing a video today about the 3D Doodler device. And here are kind of like the little sticks that they come with and whatnot. Right, and here's the start guide. Right, so in the start guide, real quick, you turn it on, start and stop, insert plastic and doodle. So those are kind of like the most charge your doodler. Seen a lot of videos about this thing not working. And my son, he came to me, he's all like, Dad, he worked, my 8-year-old son worked to buy one of these things like online. It was like 40 bucks. He used it for about 5 or 10 minutes and it gave up the ghost. So he came to me, he's like, Dad, I bought this thing. It gave up the ghost. It's not working. What do I do about it? I was like, I don't know. And then he said, Hey, Dad, aren't you an engineer? I said, yeah. He said, well, I've already talked to the engineers. Now I want to talk to an engineer. So I was like, wow. So my son knows how to move me. So what I did was, if you look at this one, it's taken apart. This is one of the newer models without the screws in it. And so I took it apart, with a knife. I had to take a knife and kind of shimmy it apart. And then when it came apart, I noticed a couple of things. Like right here is kind of like where where the sticks enter, and then this is kind of like where it exits. And then the tip of it, I don't know if you guys can see that real good, but it had another tip. It had this on top of it, and then another little like nozzle thing, which it kind of squoze it even more and prevented the plastic from going out. And so I took it apart, and then I started experimenting with it to see what I could do, if I could get it back working, things of that nature. So if you notice right here, when you first turn it on, that light goes orange. And so you're supposed to wait until that light turns green before you start using it. See, and there it goes green. I'm just gonna cut it back off. And then that's like that button that this orange piece connects to, which is right here. What I had noticed was the wax was getting stuck in there. So what I did was I took a ordinary paper clip and then I straightened it out, and then so I could just push it in there and clean it. I use it as like a little plunger type of thing. And so sometimes it gets a little hard to deal with. So I took this like pliers and stuck it down through this part. This is the part that heats. And at first I thought like, all right, if I stick this thing all the way down through there, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tear up the whole mechanisms. If you see, there's some little gears right there that kind of, they rotate it forward, backwards, right there. One thing I want to say too is if you're gonna bust yours open, be careful because if you cut these two little hair thin wires, it's over. So the how I knew is I seen another guy doing something like that. So right here, I'm just gonna. You see me? And this is I had already stuck the paper clip through the other side, so I was just like, boom, showing you that it's not gonna really affect it much. And I've stuck the paper clip all the way through, to kind of clean it. So, bam, let's cut it back on and see if we can. My son drew this picture, and so I'm gonna wax it and give it to him as a Christmas gift. He likes stuff like that. So, all right, I'm gonna go with the body being blue, I think. One thing also is that I notice is the noise this thing they make. So when you're using it, so when you cut it on and the light goes green, if you can see the light's green, you need to click it once. Now you hear that noise? Right? Boom. It's making that light click, click. That kind of noise. That's a good noise. What I noticed is the noises can guide you on how best to use it. And so if you can hear the noise, it's kind of like it was a low pitched sound. Now, if you see how once it goes to the high pitched sound, that kind of like means it's empty. And so I know my son, he was just stuffing it. Like, yo, I'm like, I'm just gonna stick another thing of this stuff in there and keep going. So what I noticed was when the high pitched sound goes, now it's still stuff in there. The light is blinking green. So what I do is I get this thing and give it just a slight push. Once I get another stick in there, you can hear it goes to like the low pitch sound now. From the, once it makes a kind of sound, it's kind of like almost empty. So I'm just doing this whole example just to prove, to show people how to best use it and things of that nature. All right, that's the body of it. I'm not really good. Now, if you notice, look at the lights blinking. All right, so the stick is kind of like it didn't grab this second stick yet. I had to like push it through the first stick through there. Now here's the second stick. I just gently pop it in there. Bam, second stick in there. I just pull it out like that to kind of like get it from running. See, pull it like that and then jump to another spot. Bam. Now, if you notice the sound, this went to that high pitch sound. That kind of like is an indicator that it's empty. Now, when I was first working with it, I didn't know really what that high pitch sound kind of indicate it, but now I do. It indicates that this thing is empty. So we're out of blue. I'm going to go with light green. I'm going to go with green. So it's not totally empty of the blue. Because watch, once I push the stick in to kind of like force the blue, I didn't push it that hard. I just gave it a light tap, just a little light tap. Because for some reason, it'll kind of like stop feeding when it gets towards the end of the run. Now the green is coming out. If you can see, the green is coming out. So we'll go down here to the legs with the green. The technique that I've been noticing that works is you just like lightly guide it over where you want it to go. I'm pretty sure my son was like pushing it. You know, when you force it down onto the drawing, that kind of like clogs up the nozzle. So if you notice on my own, I have the nozzle off. I had to unscrew that off so that to get a better flow, for lack of a better word. All right, now you see it goes red. Sometime when you're doing your thing, it's going to go orange, red, amber, whatever color that is. So when that occurs, what I normally do is just like cut it off, let it go to a like into a reset vibe. You know what I mean? Bam, cut it back on, wait for it to go green. Boom, it goes green. We get the blinking light, and then I just give it a little push, and there it goes. Now when I get if you another thing sound that I notice is that it makes a kind of like a sound to let you know that like the stick is going through there. See, it's kind of clicking, clack, clack, clack. That to me is what lets me know that all right, the stick is coming down. So as you can hear it, click, clack, click, click. So that lets me know that hey, the stick is there, it's doing its thing. Now, it goes back to the high pitch sound. If you notice, it's going back to the high pitch sound now. Bam. All right, I'm out of green. Another thing that I find is that the longer sticks work a lot better. So I'm going to use this stick right now to kind of like push the other green stick back out so I could get the rest of my green flow. Soon this flow is going to turn to gray. So you have to kind of plan this out real good in order to get it going. Now, if you see I push it down, it's going to grab the gray and it's going to start printing again or whatever. See, I give it like a little slight push. Bam, there's the rest of the green. I'm not sure what happens up in there, but it kind of like see now, boom, there's the grabber. It's gonna grab it, feed the rest of that green out of there. Soon I'm gonna be getting gray. There's the gray. So now I got gray coming out. See, there goes to the high pitch sound again. So what I'm gonna do is take another gray, pop it in there, right? And give it a little, like a slight push to kind of like get that gray moving in there again. See, now it goes to that high pitch. I'm gonna feed it. It's gonna grab. We're back in action. The thing of it is my son, he's 8 years old, and it's a lot going on for an 8 year older to kind of like, be working with this like that. So, I advise you all to like I don't know if my son is gonna be patient enough to work with this device like I'm working with it. You get me? Like, look at that. Now, when it's working good and steady, you can kind of like, you hear. Now, sometimes this happens, I've noticed. Dang, I hate when this stuff sticks to my finger. It's real brittle though. It'll crack right up after you put it. So I suggest, if you're going to use it, put it on some type of paper. Now, you see how it goes orange again, or amber, or whatever color. Typically, in that situation, you're going to get all wondering, like, hey, what's going on? Like, yo, this thing is trash. So I cut it off. See if it'll go back green. Boom, it goes back green. Then I'll push the button. We're back in action. We got that goop stuff coming back out. So here we are. Now, if you can see right there, you can see those gears in there turning. Now, it's supposed to be 2 pops to reverse it. So if you hit this twice, like 1, 2, the gears reverse. So theoretically, the stick is supposed to come out. But if it's already halfway chewed up, it's never really going to come out far enough for you to like really turn it upside down and get it out or something like that. So I just did that to demonstrate the reverse process of this thing. Bam. So now we're back at the start. I'm going to throw another gray in there. Right, and then I'm going to press go to feed. And then I'm just going to give it a slight little. That's why I never use a reverse. Every time I use a reverse, it just acts weird. All right, I'm just going to start back over because it's not, you get me? Bam. I don't know if I'm going forward, reverse, sideways, what. So I'm going to go ahead, boom, cut it back on, take from the top. It goes green. Single click. Push it. All right, so there it is. It's acting real strange. It's not grabbing. It's not feeding. Nothing. So at this point, I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm going to take my little tool, my handy dandy tool, and kind of plunge it or see if I could get that gobbledygook out there. That's kind of whatever that's keeping it from working properly. You get me? Boom. And then another thing you can do is I cut mine right here. I've split the shaft open right there so that when I feed the the, the the wax down there, I can see the feed, like how far it's fed and whatnot. You get me? So, just a little FYI. That's how I did mine when I reconfigured. It's not super child friendly right now. So as I say, I'm gonna do my best to clean out the nozzle. Boom. And then last time, like if you notice, that part's real clean. Before, when I broke it up, it had hit a roadblock somewhere up in there, and I had to take something and just scrape it out. You get me? So let me give it one more good cleaning down this this piece, the head piece, and then we're gonna give it one more try. Now you can imagine how many times I've done this. And then another thing that when I was cleaning it, I was kind of scared to stick it too far in there because I was like, all right, I'm gonna break everything that's in there and just working. So, boom. But it ended up working pretty decently. So let's give it another try. All right, I'm gonna cut it on. Let it warm up. All right, load it. Cut it on. Oh, my bad. Cut it. Bam, and then load it, and then just give it a little push and see if I can convince it to start again. For some reason, it doesn't like that. Whatever happens in the reversing, it doesn't really like that. You see how, look, no action. Hit the reverse. Go back forward. No action. So I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm back to the tool. You get me? I got to give it the tool. This is how I had to do it before. I had to push it far and wide. And if you see, a lot of this stuff is stuck in there, and then once it cools down, it just clogs the whole situation up. So See, that's the, get that plastic off of there. That's the stuff that was in there before, the gray. So when I was cleaning it before, I was like, man, I'm just gonna destroy the thing. But actually, this it's a quite rugged little. It's a quite rugged design. You get me? Because I thought it was gonna be over. Let's see, and I just clean it until I could get a nice, smooth push pull through there. The first time I did that, I was like, "Oh, it's over." Like, mm, yep, boom. So I learned something while I was doing my thing, and that's like today is like try not to use the reverse too much because you get me. Reverse act is that I think that reverse function clogged it up. All right, let's try it again. You know, I'm an engineer. That means trial and error. You know, the guy you call on the phone to like help you fix it, that's the engineer. I'm the engineer. And you know, when my son calls somebody on the phone to help fix it, they get an engineer. And then after that, my son, oh, it was see something came out the back. If you, that's what came out the back, which is that's like a short chunk of what was probably what was stuck in there not moving. That came out the back. Some of that other that came out. That's the stuff that I cleaned out of it right there. You know, the little debris, as I like to call it. So it goes back green. I'm gonna push the button, get it rolling. Hold up, let me just. Wow, look at that coming out. When I turned it upside down, I saw that debris coming out. So I'm like, let me just tap it, make sure there's no more debris in it. Boom. All right, back on. We're at amber. We're at green. We're on. I'm gonna drop another stick in there. Look at it pulling. It's making that cracking noise, low sound. Boom, we're back at it. So that's what I wanted to show you is that my connection dropped the holder. But that's what I did want to get to show you is that if it does clog up all of that type of stuff, you don't have to totally get depressed. You don't even really got to take this apart like that. Like I had just took mine apart or my son's apart because I didn't know exactly what was going on inside of it. And as I said, I'm an engineer. See how it goes to the high pitched noise? That means that it's like it's time for another stick. Push another stick down there and then show you that you know it's working, it's functioning good. See how it just grabs a stick, goes for it again, boom. And we're back at it. So as I said before, now when it goes to that high pitch, that means it's not grabbing. So I'm just gonna give it a little push. So and you can tell when it's grabbing the color sticks because it starts making that like low pitched noise. All right, now this is a good part. If you noticed, it's not doing this thing again. So I'm gonna reverse it and see what happens. The stick, you can see it it's a long piece in here, so I'm gonna see if it'll back it out. That's the reverse. You see it reversing. That thing's not even coming up. Could be me. I don't know. So let me see something. I'll cut it off. See if it'll come out. Now I can demonstrate how I ended up getting out of this situation. So cut it off. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I could push it back out that way. I don't know what happens in there, but it just kind of gets stuck like that, and then you have to deal with it. So as I said, the reason why I went ahead and dealt with it is because my son, in my son's opinion, I'm such a great engineer. So, who wants to disappoint their kid, especially with a kid toy. So, and I'm sure it's a few other people out there that are experiencing this. And so I wanted to share the experience with you all. So, FYI, this is kind of like what you're going to have to do to get that resolved. If you're having this problem, you really don't have to like take it all apart like I did, but you are going to have some sturdy paper clips and iron resolve, because look at this thing. And there it goes, coming out the back. You see it coming out the back? Boom. All right, let's look at see how it's like the tip. I just wanted to show how the thing looks. Let's compare it to a normal one, how they come. Boom. All right, I'm going to conclude my video. I've been rambling long enough. This is a video about the 3Doodler pen. Some of the problems and things that you could possibly run into when you're using it or your child is using it. Some possible techniques on how you can fix it if you want to fix it and whatnot. All right, and so that's going to conclude my video on the 3Doodler Start. This is the 3Doodler Start set. What I went over is, so there's the art. That's what we did. See, you can see we used a few colors. We got our 3Doodler to work pretty decently. I was just trying to go over some techniques on how to repair it, how to use it, some of the ups and downs that I experienced while using it, and just to show people like it is a pretty rugged device, and you probably don't have to open it all like this, like I did to get it back working. From what I learned is that you can just take like a paper clip, stick it through this part right here all the way until it pushes that back one out, and then you can start all over again. They are difficult to use. It's not an impossible journey if you want to attempt to repair one. I got that one my son purchased it off of his own hard-earned income, so I wanted to just fix it for him so he could continue to use it. Lastly, please give my video a thumbs up, and if you like the content that we create for you, please like and subscribe. Come back and check out some of our other videos. I'm XXAATTLE, and I represent the SkillDistrict. Thank you for watching. Come back again.